Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Sasha. So today is going to be a video where I go through my entire acne prone and oily skin foundation routine, and this is the end result. I will say that this is not my everyday foundation routine. If I'm just going to work or if I'm just going to the grocery store, whatever, I do my foundation a little bit different. But this is my foundation routine for when I am doing a full face of makeup. Maybe I'm going out, going to dinner, maybe I'm in a wedding. Whatever the case is, I want my makeup to last for several hours. So this is my in-depth full foundation routine for when I want my makeup to last throughout the majority of the day. So our first step is already done. I have already moisturized my face. Even though I have oily skin, you still need to moisturize if you have oily skin. So I moisturized after I took my shower and I let my moisturizer soak in for probably a solid 30 minutes. I like to let my moisturizer soak in as long as possible, at least 10 minutes. So the next step is going to be to prime our face before we put our foundation on. Today I'm going to be using this old primer that I'm just trying to use up, but if you have oily skin and you're looking for a cheap primer that is mattifying, I do like this Wet n Wild one. It's Photo Focus Base Matte. When I am actually going out and want my makeup to last, I will use this one. It's not like life-changing or anything like that. I have noticed it definitely does help with my face getting shiny. I like to make sure that's nice and rubbed in. Also, sorry my hair is gross right now. I'm just letting it air dry for a while. And next, I like to let my primer soak in while I do my eye makeup. So I'm going to go off and do my eye makeup, and then when my eye makeup is done, I will come back on and we will go through the foundation routine. So I did my eyeshadow. This is just kind of the routine I've developed. I'm not saying it's like a perfect routine or anything like that. So my first step for my foundation after I've let my primer soak in is to go in with a liquid foundation. Today I'm using this Mary Kay cream to powder foundation. I only use any form of like liquid foundation once, maybe twice a week for when I'm doing a full face of makeup and I want my makeup to last and all that. I'm just gonna put it on my blender and start putting it in. I don't always use this Mary Kay foundation, but right now it's the closest to my color, so that's what I'm using. So once you have a layer of that on, your skin is pretty evened out. Depending on how much coverage your foundation is using, I will use liquid foundations that have anywhere from medium to high coverage, and it's okay if you're still able to see some spots and redness. Next, I like to go in just with a tiny bit of concealer. Right now I'm using this e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish. This is in shade Fair. So this is what it looks like. I just take a tiny bit of this on my under eyes. And then we will blend that in as well. And if you need to blend it a little more than your beauty blender is getting it, just go in with the warmth of your finger and blend it up. This is weird being so zoomed in on my face. So once we have that blended in, we're going to go in with a layer of loose setting powder. For this, I'm not super picky about what I use. What is it called? Airspun is a good one. It works really well, but it has talc in it, so I try not to use that. Use a little to set the under eye. I'll just kind of use whatever I have available all over the face. I am not shy when it comes to my powder, especially my loose setting powder. Oh my god, I just got a crap ton on my shirt. Whoops. Because I use so much powder, a lot of times I'll actually wear a robe over my shirt or put like a towel over my shirt. Now, if for some reason you're watching this and you have dry skin, you can still follow this foundation routine. Just don't use nearly as much powder as I use, because if you have dry skin and you use as much powder as me, you are going to look scary and cakey and all the bad things. But if you have oily skin, as your oils come through, it's going to start to soak up all that powder. We're just being very generous and doing a solid layer of setting powder all over the face. So next we are going to go in with a layer of powder foundation. So this is where we'll get the last bit of our coverage, and of course the powder is going to help our oily skin. Right now I'm using Mineral Fusion in Neutral 2. This is my everyday foundation as well. If you'd be interested in seeing my more everyday makeup routine that I wear just for work, let me know, because it is different. Yeah, this is the powder foundation I have right now that matches. So we're going to do a layer of that. Basically, I just use this until I have a nice, clean canvas of skin that is all one color. Another thing I'll do is if I have pimple spot that's still looking red after I've done all this, I will take my finger and dig it right in here and pack it on with my finger over that pimple or whatever spot it is. Now we are going to go in with another layer of loose setting powder. Like I said, if you have dry skin or even normal skin, do not use as much powder as me. But I have really oily skin and we want as much layers to soak up that oil as possible. And typically I'm a little heavier with this second layer than I was with the first layer of loose powder. I especially like to get it in my T-zone where I get oily the fastest. And yeah. Now we are going to go in with our first layer of setting spray. If you have really oily skin, you might want to use a matte setting spray. This is a matte setting spray. It was really cheap and it's mostly water, I'm pretty sure. This is what I'm using today. If you have a good setting spray for oily skin, a recommendation, let me know, because this is almost out and I'm gonna be needing a new one. I'm almost out. So it's mostly dry, but while we wait for it to dry completely, I am going to go off and do my brows. Now that I have my brows filled in, I am going to do another light layer of loose setting powder. And like I said, this one's just a lighter one. Now we are going to go in and contour. Another step that sometimes gets thrown in here, if my foundation does not quite match my face, like say my foundation is a tad bit too light, I will take a darker foundation and just kind of bronze my skin with another powder foundation that's just a tad darker. Right now I actually am white, so I'm just going to leave it like this, and now we're going to go straight into contour. Take whatever contour, you can contour with the bronzer, whatever you want. I have a very round face, so I like to chisel out my cheeks. And I like to go heaviest with my contour closest to my hairline. And now we're gonna contour my jawline. And just a tiny bit around my forehead. Now we are going to go in with blush. I use the same exact brush and just go in with my blush. And I try to do my blush high and up just to kind of like lift the face. Okay, that blush is still a little light, so I'm gonna add more of like a peach blush. GG Gorgeous in the Only Blush Authentic. I don't know. We're just gonna use a tad bit of this because it is pretty pigmented. Now we are going to go in with highlight. I like to highlight the brow bone. Inner corner. If you have eye goopies like I do, you can take a Q-tip and get those out. Highlight the nose. Cupid bow. And the top of the cheekbone a little bit. Now we are going to do our second layer of setting spray. It's almost out. It's spraying so bad. Whatever, I don't care. Wait for that to dry. And I'm not quite done, but we are almost done. So I'm going to go off, finish my eyes, do my hair, then I will be back for the very last step. Okay, I am back. Hi. I finished my eyes, finished fixing my hair. Today I am going with Aquaphor instead of any form of lip gloss because I love Aquaphor. And basically that's my routine, except a couple last steps. Anytime I'm going somewhere, right before I leave, I'll just take a little bit more of translucent setting powder and just set down any places that I see already starting to get a tiny bit shiny. So I'm going to do that. Often it's the forehead, a little bit on my nose, and then in my like T-zone. Sometimes in this area. So yeah, I'll just go around and touch up, and then a lot of times I'll touch up around my nose, and then I'll have to touch up my blush just a tiny bit more. And usually I don't even add any more on the brush. I just take what's already on there and touch up my cheeks. Actually, I am going to add a tiny bit more blush. Just a tiny bit. Because I really like blush. Yes, and then the very last step is I'm completely done, but I always keep these in my purse. The package is a little distraught right now, but they are oil absorbing sheets, and this is just the Equate brand from Walmart. I think Neutrogena is the one that originally makes these, so you can get the off-brand kind. Neutrogena makes them. I think e.l.f. makes oil blotting sheets as well, but I've never tried e.l.f.'s. I keep these with me wherever I go. They are 100% always in my purse, no matter which purse I'm using, no matter what I'm doing. These are with me, and the key with these is once your face has gotten a little oily, you can see kind of shine, you're like, okay, it's time to tone down the shine. Take one out, and the key is to use it and blot. Don't take it and wipe it. That's going to be gross. Just blot it around your oily places. And my skin gets so oily that after 3 hours, I'll use one of these and I will completely or almost completely use one of these up. When I do my full foundation routine like I did today, my face won't get as oily, so maybe I just use half of one or whatever. But for everyday use as well, like my everyday makeup routine, if I'm just going to work or whatever, I will use one of these on my lunch break and I will completely use it up. I love these. I think they're great. I can't live without them. I like the Equate brand because it comes with 100 sheets in here, where the Neutrogena ones come with like 50 or 60, I think. If you're looking for these, you can get them off Amazon. You can buy them at Walmart, Target, any kind of CVS I'm sure has them, Walgreens, any kind of drugstore or whatever, or you can order them online. That was my complete in-depth oily skin foundation routine. I hope this helped you out. I'm going to be making more videos about oily and acne prone skin. I'm going to test out some foundations and all that. For someone with acne prone and oily skin, your foundation in your makeup routine can make a huge difference. If you just have like normal skin and you don't really have acne, it probably doesn't really matter what foundation you use. But us oily girls, we gotta pack on the powder. We gotta do what we can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.